And welcome back to SA Sports Show. Ando's Blast from the Past. We had a great chat last week with Michael Tata. I've got him back into the studio. Welcome back, mate.
Thanks, Ando. Great to be here again.
And we covered all your Norwood stuff, which was great.
Yeah.
You know, 6 best and fairest. They named the award after you now. Lots of state football. And we were chatting off camera before about some of your state games. I love state footy. I love it.
Yeah.
And you were saying one of your special moments in state footy. You played WA over in WA. Great team.
Yes.
But hadn't won for a long, long time.
Yeah, we haven't won for 60 odd years, I think. And
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's been kept fairly quiet, really.
Yeah.
And Curl, I remember when we won, Curls was telling me it's the first time in 60 plus years we'd beaten them over there. And we certainly had a good time after and on the way back on the plane. But certainly they had a fantastic team. I think out of the Western Australian team, about 7 or 8 of those went and played VFL. Glenn Dinnings and those guys. So the Kellys and lots of good players. So. And we weren't given any opportunity to win at all over there, and we never won too often.
Do you think as a state we were blossoming as well? Like we were also, there was obviously we were starting to field a few players into the VFL.
No, we were absolutely, and we couldn't get them back because it wasn't state of origin. You see, so and it gave opportunity for other players to play and be seen on the big stage, and which they did. You know, your Peter Jonas's and
that's a lot of games of footy over a lot of years for South Australia not to win.
I think so. I was a bit amazed when Curls told me.
And I reckon you would have had a couple of sherbets after the game. I'm pretty sure you would have celebrated.
We did, and we caught the midnight flight home, which was pretty amazing. So we got back at 6 o'clock in the morning, and which couldn't, from that point of view, that team was. They just gelled together. It's a wonderful team.
Because I want to talk a little bit about Collingwood. I mean, look, I don't want to but Norwood team of the century in the back pocket, which is fantastic. Yeah. And also, my father gave me a book when I was young. It was How to Play Football. Yeah. And every position was done by a Victorian.
That's right.
I set the back pocket, and that was you.
Yeah, I was tickled pink by that.
It was amazing.
I was only about 20 or something.
That was the only player I knew. I mean,
it's hard. And I still read it. I've read it the other day. I still got it at home, and it still makes a bit of sense. How to play it, like what you do and how you concentrate, and you virtually you set goals up. Yeah. From the people think you stop people, you don't. You do stop opposition,
but you've got to set it up.
Exactly. Yeah. So you actually, from a point of view, I always thought to myself, if I can kick a goal every game from the back pocket, which I never did, but I always try to, So from that point of view, you play attacking footy, and people think you play back to be a defender. Well, not really. No. When your team gets the ball, you're in control.
That's exactly what I would have saw.
Yeah, and you set your forwards
every week I see the back pocket setting
exactly.
Up, so nothing's really changed.
And the slingshot, if you see the slingshots, it's a terminology they use today, and it's so true. If you look at a whole game of footy, it doesn't matter what standard it is, if your half-back line is and your back line are slingshotting through and over kicking to set over forward into the full forward line, you're putting a lot of pressure on, and you're making space for players.
Because I love the wing, and I was sort of reading from a guy called Keith Gregg.
Yes.
I don't know if he's any good.
He was very good. A couple of brows.
So that was pretty good advice, wasn't it?
Very good advice.
So, Then over to Collingwood.
Yes.
You actually got a remarkable career. You played 4 years, but you averaged 23 games for them a year.
Yeah, I never got hardly injured. It was interesting.
That's remarkable.
Well, it's from the fitness point of view, all the training you do away from the club and with the club. And Tommy, of course, is a fitness fanatic. Yeah. So you had to come up to his standards. You didn't come up to his standards, you didn't get the game.
Well, I know there's a part in Russell Ebert's book that he said when he actually went to North Melbourne, he was actually thinking, wow, am I going to make this team? Because they train harder, they were bigger players, they were faster, and our great Russell Ebert was actually thinking, can I make this team?
That's
of course he was wonderful, you obviously had, probably thought that as well during the pre-season.
Well, he went later than I did. I went when I was 27, so I already played over 200 games at Norwood. Yeah. So
you're conditioned.
So I was conditioned, but I wasn't conditioned to there. Prime. That's right. Yeah. So from that point of view, I did some homework, like big homework. Yeah. Asked a lot of questions from the people I knew in Victoria, and I spoke to Tommy at length about it, and he gave me a standard to set. Yeah. So I knew pretty well what I was in for. It was really hard. You'd train for 3 hours. Yeah. Not for an hour.
Yeah. That's what I found as well, actually. The
training was just huge.
Exhausting.
Not to say they got better skills, but certainly they were bigger, they were stronger and faster.
And then you still had to play Saturday after doing 3 sessions of 3 hours.
And Tommy's training drills were pretty basic, but real good drills, like, you know, and Tuesday night you play a game against the twos.
Yeah.
So you had umpires and all. So you're playing 2 games or 3 games in a week.
Yeah.
So, and of course you don't go as hard as you would, but you'd train for the first hour and a half, then you'd play.
Was it everything you expected? Bigger crowds, bigger bodies,
I was in awe of it when I first went there.
Yeah.
I was in awe of the players.
Yeah.
Like Peter Moore, Rene King, Ricky Barham. You know,
Ronnie Wearmouth?
Ronnie Wearmouth.
Oh,
so the list goes on and on. And but once you get involved with them, wonderful people.
You had a fantastic career there.
Yeah, and the club,
grand final.
and the club. First year we played in the grand final, we lost it, which you know. But then turn the clock back. You know, I had an opportunity to play another. I was only going for 1 year.
Yeah,
ended up going 4 years.
Yeah.
And I just
played in the grand final. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Yeah, and you played in the grand final.
Yeah.
We had 115,000 people there. And I can't hear from you to there.
No,
And we get 20,000 of training.
Yeah.
You know, so every person kicked be a roar and everything. So, but overall, they were just a wonderful club to me, and I did 4 years there.
Yeah, because you played only just shy of 400 games.
Yeah, that didn't bother me.
I know that, but it's just a remarkable performance to beat with some of the night games, Collingwood, state games, Norwood. Nearly 400 games. That's
you played for a long time, but that was due to the conditioning of training.
You're a professional.
And I was lucky I got hardly any injuries at all. You know, I think I played 120 games straight at one stage. So, you know, but that was just, I recovered really well.
Yeah. And then into coaching, which is still the next path for you. And you're assistant to Graham with all the Crows starting up. So that would have been an exciting period.
Well, I was at Collingwood for 3 years coaching with Lee.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
So that was great. I was Lee and Gubby got me back to, after I finished Collingwood, came back to Norwood for 3 years. Yep. And then Gubby and Lee Matthews spoke to me after Port. We beat you in a final again. So
thanks for that. Yeah.
But anyway, so Lee and Gubby were after me to coach and play in the twos. Yeah. And I was very reluctant to do it. I had my own business here in Adelaide. Yeah. But certainly it was an opportunity if I was going to coach, if I liked it. Yeah. Playing coach. So I did that for 3 years. It was pretty hard. It was. You know, coaching the twos and then helping Lee in the set. There's only 3 coaches in those days.
Yeah, that's right.
Now they have heaps. So I'd play in the twos, coach, and then have a shower, go up, help Lee, and massive day. Yeah. And then train all week and play every game and teach the kids. Yeah. You know? So, and then after that, of course, Cornsey came knocking, or Bob Hammond did, and said the Crows are going to be formed, and that's when I met you personally, and Jars and all the boys.
Jamo and Pitto and all the Larrikins.
One of the best captains ever to be involved with Chris McDermott. But all those wonderful people. So
that must have been it was an interesting time for South Australia.
Yeah, it was.
We've been waiting for this side for a long time.
I
remember an interview, I read it was 85, 86, and they were sort of saying, Greg, obviously, you'd hope South Australia puts a side into the VFL in those days. And I said, yeah, of course. But we're looking 5 years later, finally they've put a side in. So we were ready for it.
Yeah, put the pieces together, and it wasn't easy, was it? We had 72 players on the list, training, and I felt sorry for that 20 that dropped. We had 52 left, because they did all the pre-season, didn't they? We were training 13 out of 14 days. I know. And you'd know, and I was doing it with you. So, but certainly, but Graham and Jakes and the boys did a wonderful job there. Yeah. But you think about it, within 3 years they played in a prelim final.
Yeah, I know.
Within 3 years.
42 points up at half time.
Exactly. Yeah. But that comes up too often. But just think of these teams have been there for 100 years.
Exactly.
And some haven't even played in the finals or prelim finals. So for Cornsey to do that, and things do happen for a reason, I reckon, sometimes. But Bob
Skilton said, I'd give up my 3 Brownlows to play one more final. Absolutely. He played one elimination final. So we probably do take that for granted.
I think so. But how fast they went up to, from there, then they came back a bit, which happens.
Of course it's going to.
And there's a bit of drama there for a while, wasn't there, with coaches and all that, which happens in footy clubs. And then
over to Messiah.
Then Messiah came along. And
that was it.
But don't forget the foundations. The
foundation.
Wonderful. And then I went to Westies for 5 years, which I loved.
Close to a grand final.
We were to a degree.
That was a great performance.
Just a creek opportunity, wasn't there? I just love the coaching, the young fellas coming through, and it's dealing with the senior players and just the whole, from the seniors to the juniors and everything. And I did 5 years, and that was enough. I had a business as well, as you know.
Yes, I know.
I was doing a lot of hours a week. It wasn't full time.
Football was your life.
Yeah, exactly. It still is today to a degree. So, from that point of view, I loved my time there, and we just missed out. But that happens. You know, you've got to move on, don't you?
Yeah. And did you ever sneak back to the old Kingston? Do you still
absolutely? You got
there?
family? Oh. Yeah, absolutely. Go there all the time. Yeah, all the time. Yeah, lovely spot.
Yeah.
Through Robe and Kingston,
it's
and
beautiful.
up through that area.
Yeah.
Brings back memories. You know.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah,
you know.
it's just a beautiful town, and it's not far from Adelaide.
No,
it's only 3 hours down the Coorong, and so from that point of view, catch up with the family, and
So a little boy from Kingston to I think we've added up to about 25 minutes of talking to you on the SA Sports Show, which we're so grateful.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Andy.
I thank you so much for coming in, and not just what you've done for for football, for Nord Football Club, for the Collingwood, the Crows. That foundation, Crows. You were such a huge part of the success of the club. But for South Australia in general, I mean, I have to really take my hat off. And I'm, like I said, I've been knocking around with you for a long time, having a beer, and I just honestly, I just didn't realise. Wow, I know why we call him the King. Thank you so much.
No worries, Endo.
No,
Pleasure.
We're back after the break.